Hello, Cherie Hansen here. I have for the last 3 days been thinking about recording a YouTube about inherited habits. I try to observe what I'm doing and try to try to understand where I get the pattern from. Where did that come to me as something to do? And recently I came across a really interesting term on TikTok, which said there's a thing called pebbling. Pebbling is when you're like a crow that really likes someone and you bring them beautiful pebbles or shiny things. Or one woman had earrings being brought to her by the crow in the neighborhood that had decided to be in love with her. And I thought about how it gives me so much joy in the mornings when I open the world. There's this, the computer, you open the world and find out what's in there. Is there a pearl? Is there a pearl in there? Is there a new study? Is there new information? Is there a new angle that someone has taken a photograph from that shows the backside of whatever the hell that was that we didn't even know it existed or had a backside? No, look, there's the backside. So that gives me a great deal of joy. But the next part of it is also something that I do with great enthusiasm. And that is, I will send a link to someone if they say, for instance, are in a state of perimenopause, and I find out something that works for people who are going through that transition. I will send it over to them. And if I find somebody who's interested in the history of Scotland, I will send something that I have found over to them. I was thinking a lot about why I do this. Because I do 7 days a week have this habit of finding things that somebody might be interested in, might enjoy, and just send it to them. You don't have to open it. You don't have to read it. I don't check in. I'm not trying to get a sale from anything that I'm sending out. But I realized this is something that my mother used to do. She was very, very strange in her relationship with me. I never knew where I stood with her. I always had the feeling that I had the plague. There was a boil on my neck I couldn't see, but it would catch onto her body and kill her. Very good, wonderful feeling to have from your mother. But what she would do is she would send me magazine clippings when I was at university. So I would open an envelope and there would be 5 or 6 pages from magazines that she had cut out and sent to me, which were all in what she thought were my areas of interest. And as I'm sitting reading this definition of pebbling, I am connecting my habits with this habit my mother had. We had a very unsuccessful relationship. There was no way she was ever going to unconditionally love me or protect me at all. But this snuck through the barrier. These pages, these magazine pictures, showed me that somewhere in that chaotic mess of her mind, there was concern or caring for me. And I realized as I thought about it, oh, that's what I'm doing too. I'm being indirectly and non-invasively affectionate with other people. Isn't it interesting how we pick up on these things? I just think it's fascinating to, we think we're a distinct entity and that we're choosing everything that we're doing and whatever, but there's so much that we're programmed to imitate. There's so much that has happened to our grandparents and our great-grandparents and our parents that we're copying because it helps us make choices. Otherwise, where are you? You're standing at a vending machine that has 2,000 choices. What do you want? I don't know. I do know that I want to find something that someone might enjoy, they might find a use for, that might give them pleasure in their life, and send it to them. And my mother had demonstrated that to me. Lately, I have been vacillating between feeling very tired and sick and overwhelmed from the 103 people that have come through and stayed in my Airbnb, and feeling very grateful. This evening, I was sitting out on the deck with Todd. The sprinkler was going. The air was cool. And as I looked at his back, as he sits with his back to me in order to protect me, should, a falcon or an eagle or something show up, he's right there to protect me. And I was thinking about how the simplest of things, the very simplest of things, are the things that are most satisfying. You're not going to get disappointed looking into a flower. It's not going to happen, right? You're not going to feel frustrated throwing a pebble into the lake and hearing the kerplunk sound and seeing the waves. It's not going to fail to be a pleasant experience. And so the thing that is interesting to me is there are certain things you can count on that anchor us to a sense of being loved and cared for. And for me, opening that envelope and having all those magazine pages in there signaled to me that she did give a care about me in her indirect way of being. So as we go through this transition, I have to laugh. I've got a sense of humor. It's just like, oh my God. The one thing that I keep reminding myself of, and I keep coming back to, is keep it simple. Keep it quiet. Don't look for a circus with 5 tents. Just listen to the frogs and the crickets outside the window and watch Todd's back as he sits up straight like a sentry, like a guard in front of his queen. I'm fantasizing. I don't know. That's what he thinks of. He may think I'm just a complete idiot and need protecting, but I'll imagine he thinks I'm a queen. And those things can be remembered, can be focused on. They can be our touchstones. They can be our reassurance of the quality of our life. I was reading a book the other day and I thought about how much pleasure I get from holding a book and turning a page. Ever since I can first remember reading, a flood of pleasure. This is so exciting. These words, these are not words I have thought. These are not words in my reality. I'm experiencing something totally new and exciting, and I'm in someone else's mind. Wow. And so that's coupled with the smell of the book, the turning of the page. So I want to bring us back today to the idea that simple is magnificent. It's magnificent. And the simple things you do for other people, the very small things you do as a kind and loving person, are like pebbles that you bring to them to show how deeply you love them. Thank you so much. I really appreciate the number of people that are signing up, subscribing to my channel, because that means the more people that subscribe, the more people that I could conceivably give a pebble to, a pebble of my thoughts and my wisdom. Here, isn't it pretty? It's all shiny. So do subscribe, like, and if you want a channeled reading, get a hold of me. It's a great time for it because it's new. It's all new, baby. It's all new. Where are we? We don't know yet. We're just creating it. We don't know what kind of baby it is. It's still in there. So thank you so much. I appreciate you.